Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, we were playing as these squares and rectangles in the hopes of reaching the ends of these maps, and it requires some teamwork between them because they each have their different movement and jump abilities. The smallest one can jump crappily, and the biggest one can jump goodly. So, keeping that in mind, also they each have names. The medium-sized one is Thomas, the smallest one is Chris, and the tallest one is John. And I assume we're about to be getting a new character here. But first, let's see here. The initial group possessed simple variations in size and strength. More complex configurations were inevitable. Oh, that means we're going to get somebody who's not a square. As the era spread, these variations became increasingly extreme. So, at the start of each chapter, there's these dialogue boxes that popped up, and I think they're talking about the programming of the game? Something like that?
So, this was how Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually.
Okay, so she's not
She was rubbish at jumping, and she moved slowly. She felt a little like her continued existence was breaking some kind of natural order. The crumbling pillar was a dramatic death, she supposed. Wait, what? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that she was not, in fact, dead. It was at that moment that Claire realised she had superpowers.
Go Claire!
She'd need a cape. There was no getting around that. You couldn't be a superhero without a cape. Claire didn't want confusion. If you saw a cape, that made matters clear. You knew what you were dealing with. Claire was all about communication. And, you know, floating in water, which was her superpower.
I suppose being able to float in water would be a nice power. I like swimming myself. You know what? Let's make this a little easier. First off, let's write her name down. Claire. And apparently there is a little bit of separation going on now because here's John without Thomas or Chris. And that didn't take long. You know, the point of putting Claire there was to make these jumps easier. Like so. So, kind of need to actually not just drop into the water. That would be preferred. Hold on, let me get the chat in focus. There we go. There's everyone.
Right. Fear not, my skinny friends, for I am Claire, and I will save you. Claire needed to come up with a superhero name as soon as possible. Claire was rubbish.
I don't think Claire's a bad name. Maybe she could be called Super Claire. That sounds like a good name. Let's go with Super Claire. Unless the game comes up with one for us.
Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive.
The water is rising. This stage has a time limit. So we're back down to 2 characters at this point. Oop, let's not get squished.
As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took.
Let's hope none. I would prefer not to have to restart this one. Oh, that's a thing!
I wondered if Thomas would make a good sidekick. Or
There was a thing there, and I died for it. First death of this playthrough. Wait, no, it's not.
Just in time. which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive.
It's the first death that actually is a bummer, I should say. So she can jump with a character on her only if she's in the water.
As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took.
I wonder if I missed any of those so far.
Claire wondered if Thomas would make a good sidekick.
Aww.
Was she more the lone Avenger type? She liked that.
I want it.
A hero in a world of rectangles and...
I want that thing over there, and I intend to get it somehow. But this will be my last try at getting
Claire
it.
arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive.
I feel like I will not be able to perform 2 entire chapters in each episode. I will probably have to end a mid-chapter at some point. Oh well.
As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took.
I have an idea.
Claire wondered...
Oh, I failed! I failed! I failed! I was trying to be quick and skip between the 2 characters, but I accidentally skipped back to Claire.
Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive.
I don't know how I'm supposed to get to that collectible over there. But clearly, this is not going to be a 100% playthrough.
As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took.
Yeah, I'm done restarting. Ah, that's a bummer. I would have liked to have been able to get that.
If Thomas would make a good sidekick. Or was she more the lone Avenger type? She liked that. The sole hero in a world of rectangles and conveniently placed pools of toxic water.
Bummer. Who's this? Oh, it's Chris again. Hi, Chris. Nice of you to join us again. Oh, wait, nope. Need to help Claire, too, because she does not have a jumping superpower. Boy, Chris is strong. But not quite tall enough.
The others told Claire that staircases were a bit of a fixture here. Claire wondered why the world made it so difficult.
It's kind of hard to keep track of which way I go in order to cycle through these. Okay, what's down here? A checkpoint. Cool. I can go for a checkpoint. Checkpoints are nice. They're usually nice. Sometimes they're not so nice. Like I remember... Oh, which one is it? There's a Mario ROM hack in which you actually need to die at the checkpoint in order to continue with the stage. That ain't so nice. Because, like, the checkpoint will... the checkpoint will put you in a position where you can continue the stage. But having to actually lose on purpose in order to be able to finish the stage, that's mean.
needed a nemesis. A villain who would show their true colours at the worst possible moment, hurting all she held dear.
Let's hope that
Chris
doesn't happen.
was the most obvious choice. He seemed stroppy enough, and his jump was so pathetic that it conveniently avoided Claire's insecurities. Yes, Chris. Diabolical Chris. The fiendish Christopher.
There's still water down there. Everybody hop on. Tugboat Chris. Tugboat Claire. Yeah, here we are. And this will be the end of this stage.
Wait. Where had Chris gone? Was he off somewhere? Plotting Claire's downfall?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Claire was honest. And she had to be because she was a superhero. This was a troubling turn of events.
Honestly,
There were reasonably sized bodies of water to cross.
honesty is a good policy. Even if you're not a superhero. It is interesting that these floating platforms are an obstacle. Usually floating platforms are good for you. I'm a little afraid of what might be down there, so... Claire, take the lead. Okay, no water. But hey, she can carry everybody anyway. Oh, she kind of has to. I think. Oh. Back up. I imagine this game was pretty easy to animate. Not having to make any walking animations.
Moving platforms over water, eh? Claire's newly heightened senses told her that there were multiple paths across with various possible configurations of the little posse.
I don't have to make this more complicated than it needs to be. Simple.
They were doing really well. Claire hoped she could get them all across. John was fully aware he could do this alone. Thomas hoped he'd never have to.
Wario Land says that John can probably jump across all the way, but why take chances? Claire was alone.
Claire was alone. Which was odd, because she wasn't meant to be alone. She needed to be where there were rectangles to save. Being the only superhero in a given space kind of defeats the object.
Ooh.
Spikes? That was new. Claire avoided them. She decided they were most likely her kryptonite. Not the rubbish red kryptonite either, the proper radioactive green stuff.
Found another one of those things. Of course this game has spikes. Oh, deja vu.
Wow. Deja vu. The world was repeating. And this time Thomas was here. Claire felt something had gone wrong. There was a disturbance in the Force. Something had altered the Matrix. The world was reacting to their progress. It was amassing its forces. It was plotting against them. Claire finally had a nemesis.
It does not sound like a very fun nemesis. But better than Chris, I assume. Ugh. Oh, the... You know, her jumping sound... First off, yeah, her jumping sound kind of reminds me of Wario's jumping sound. Okay, no, I don't have to complicate this either. Claire can just go ahead. There we go. Okay, we're in a new chapter here. Let's see what this says here. I built protections into the system. When overlaps occurred... Hold on a sec, I want to try something. Interesting. So when you pause the game, the music stops. But then if you unfocus the game and then bring it back to focus, the music starts again. So let's see here. I built protections into the system. When overlaps occurred, the world generated a splitter to remove the unwanted additionals. It's like a white blood cell. It investigates, it captures, and it removes from play. Joe Goman's from Intelligent Systems, the Paper Mario team? Huh. Not sure I would want to be removed. Who's going to be removed then? New character.
Laura was pleased this one was behind a wall. Maybe he'd never know what she could do. Maybe they could just have a conversation. Hang out.
So this is Laura. Laura is a wide rectangle.
As long as he didn't find out what she could do. Which would never happen so long as they stayed separate.
Laura is shy. Oh, I gotta bring the chat into focus again. There we go. Wonder when they'll meet. Right now. Oh, what's that?
Laura didn't have time to worry about the ominous pixel cloud. It had been following her for some time, and it had kept itself to itself until now. More important was the little orange thing, which was looking at her in a way that she kind of, well, liked.
Laura is bouncy.
As the square, who had shyly introduced himself as Chris, bounced atop Laura, she began to worry that he was just using her like all the others had. They'd all bounced too, and then they disappeared when her back was turned.
I blame that pixel cloud. It is probably going to be the thing that removes things.
Only the ominous pixel cloud ever remains, looking a little bigger and a little less hungry with every disappearing friend.
But I'm sure that's a coincidence.
With every bounce, Laura found herself less and less irritated by Chris. She started to miss him when he wasn't there, on another platform or something.
Laura's got a crap jump. Okay, come on down.
She'd wonder what he was up to. Was he missing her? He wasn't saying very much.
Probably need her there. Oh. Not quite. This should do it. Glad he can make those jumps. Random achievements.
Chris was in love. She was perfect. He had to tell her so. At some point, he would definitely tell her. Probably best to wait for a moment the large, ominous pixel cloud wasn't about, though. Yeah, probably best to wait.
Oh, there it goes. Go ahead and Charlie, run away, Pixel Cloud. If you eat too much, you'll be overweight and stuff. You don't want to be overweight. It's no fun. Like you start walking funny and stuff. Oh. I feel dumb now. I wonder if there's an achievement for getting through the game with no deaths. I already lost the achievement, obviously, but I'm a little curious about that. I didn't actually look at the achievements for this game yet. Anything hidden up there? I don't see anything. So here we go again. Interesting that the checkpoints are so tall. They don't want you to miss them. Oh, that certainly reduces the leap there. Well, wait, up. Nope, can't jump like that. So what does this button do?
Chris was massively disappointed to run into the gang again. He'd enjoyed the alone time with his new girlfriend.
Sad Chris. That thing's still out there. That thing is slightly scary. Alright, come on over, Chris. It's your turn to shine again.
Was it too early to refer to Laura as his girlfriend? Only if I say it out loud, he told himself. He didn't want to scare her off.
Okay. You, tall jumper, you need to be the one to look ahead so we can figure out what the situation here is. Okay. It's just you then. It's all on you. Oh, and there's the exits down there. Cool. That thing is still ominously out there. Ominously being ominous. That said, we're going to maybe find out a little bit more about it in the next episode because it is time for another episode break. There's going to be 4 episodes per stream, so we're pretty much at the halfway point for this stream. That said, I would like to thank my patrons for being my patrons, including Ixion. And of course, I'm going to give a special thanks to my special sponsor, Lit Dragon. We'll be right back here and continue this game, and it'll be continuing. I'll see you then.